Oh, welcome, welcome. Ah, oh, right. So today, a bit more of a chill stream. Um, Today we're building Lego, so that should be pretty fun. As you see in the back, there. This is the last one-piece Lego set left to build. So nice to be able to finally add that to the collection. Even got a camera set up and everything, just so you can see what's going on a little bit. I suppose let's just get building. So we've got the Buggy circus today, which comes with Luffy, Zoro, Nami, and Buggy himself. I've not really done this before, so I'm not sure on the best angles, but should be alright. Hopefully. So, yeah. Let's get to it. The box is a bit battered, but you know, that's alright. I'll just open this and have a look. So many bags we've got. Mike picks it up quite a bit, I will say. Hopefully there's not too much rattling going on. Okay. Got our sticker sheets there. There seems to be 6 bags in total. So, that one number 1. Get these others out the way for now. The booklet there. So, out of all of the sets I got, regarding to the wanted posters, I'm only missing one, being Gold Roger. So, with any luck, we should be able to get him today. So, let's begin. I'm not one to sort Lego out, so might look a bit messy to some people. Others probably just the same, you know. Just hope I don't lose too many pieces, you know. Left in there. There we go. Try and keep everything organised. So as you could probably already see, this first bag is Buggy in. Start opening it. Open. These things don't open as easily as they used to. So there we go. We've got Buggy in all of his glory. You get some knives with him. Open, get through this. Gonna get these in the ends. One. There we are. Fortunately, it's not letting me see TikTok chat. I'm not even sure how I'd fix that. That's quite annoying. Right. I might have to try and sort that out for next time then. Right, let's just building then. If you are on TikTok and are wanting to chat, head on over to Twitch. That should be better because I can see that chat. I'm not sure, unless it's just trying to think of a way I'd be able to see the TikTok chat. If that's that's possible at all. Quite cluttered this desk, isn't it? This is stuff I probably should have had sorted already, but issues arise. Right. Everything about today. Right. That seems to have worked a little. So, don't want the voice to come through again. There we go. Right, I'm going to try and put it on there like that. So I can then see. Wait, one moment there, I just need to. I'm doing is I'm just making sure people know I'm live. Got the video flipped the wrong way. Not good. Not good at all. No, this stuff was not as easy as you first think. Why can't I just flip a video? You know? Why does it get rid? Hopefully, it'll work now. Although I probably should have prepped all this beforehand. Just bad planning on my my part there. So, is that all good? Hmm. I'm going to try that again. We'll get there at some point. Don't worry. Right now, just edit some tags. There we go. I should do. Sure that works. Careful that. That's good. Get this all connected up again. All right. Excuse me. Is that all working? I hope so. Do is... Yeah, I'm still not really sure what I'm doing, but we'll work it out. Okay. There we are. Right. Let's actually get on with it this time. You know? Why didn't that add into this one? Oh. Let's, you can I not add this to this one, right? There we are. Someday I'll work all this out. Do I need to even add it to this one? I didn't even think about that. You know? Is it in here? No. The media source? No. What are you? I'll get it all working at some point, you know? Not that one. Unless it just doesn't allow it. An audio capture. Right, can I add that to TikTok? Or not? I can. But it's not using the same one. Right, well, hopefully that's working. No, I don't think there's much more I could do about it right now. Right. Actually, do this now. Without any more complications. Let's hope, anyway. I mean, if I'm wanting to do this as a more regular thing, I'll need a better, you know, setup for a camera, stuff like that. But this will work for today, I think. Added. Right on the bottom, we need these. So feel free just to hang out or ask some questions if you wish. Completely up to you. There we are. Trying to make you see what I'm doing, but I'm not sure how much you're seeing half the time. I'll keep, you know, making sure. Right, these on there. One of them there. One with a hook, that's that one. And then an L piece. My most expensive set, that would be the Baratier, which I think is about £250, but I was able to get it for 200, so that did really help. And I mean, it is an impressive looking set. Another 4 there. These ones, brick with a clip. Oh, that one. Oh, that piece there. Not a clip, but it's like a hook, almost. Put these on. What's my favourite set? That one would go to the Going Merry. I mean, I am just a One Piece fan, I guess, but I've got some other cool ones. I've got like Galactus as well from Fantastic Four, which I do like. It could be a little better, but still cool to have. Right, there we go. Next page. Got this one. Another thing there. And we can start with a colourful looking floor. How is this done? That and that. On the other side, got that one. How long have I been built? Well, technically since I was a kid, but I mean, more recently I've started collecting again for the past year or so. I haven't got loads. I mean, I don't really have much space for them all. But it's always fun to have a few different ones. Right, that one. There we go, nice little floor coming along. Oh, this is certainly interesting. How does this go then? It would be like that. And like that. Bit of a strange design that I've never seen before, but I'm liking it. And then the same with that side, like that. And then we have some of these go on there. And then the same with the blue on the other side. See you later, mate. Thanks for joining. Alright. Then we've got these little slope pieces here. And then I think it's these darker ones. Onto there. Very cool. So I assume this will be the main doorway. Yeah, just to say that. Putting the door in front. Just there. Go. Then these come on to here. And the archway. There we go. Then we need 2 L plates. Just slide onto here. Like so. this light too harsh for the... I'm not quite sure. But I'm not sure how much it's affecting it. Maybe change this. Not really doing too much there. That's alright. We'll just keep it going. Hopefully it's alright to look at for you all. Right. First we need these ones. Go on there. Like so. Nice little doorway coming together. Then we're building a couple of these panel ways with some like sliding bricks, those there. Just like so. Go. And they just go on the sides like that. A little gap in between them. I don't know if that was intentional. Oh, there we are. And then a little step to go out front. There's quite a nice use of that piece there. You know. Very cool. And then these little things. Quite a simple little design to go out front. Got add a bit of curvature to the build, and I assume we're doing the same with the other one. There we go. And that is what we get from bag one. We've got the doorway, nice little flooring there, and set up for the rest of the build there. The foundations. Right, so let's grab bag two. Nothing left in there. And then we've got the smaller bag. Of everything else. But little other things that we can find. Right. So I'm gonna need a better place to put everything. Right. So, continuing on from this first little build here. We need a 1x2. Then a 1x1x2. And by 3. There we are. The walls coming up a little bit. Then we're going to need one of these. A grey piece with a cross in. And then there's a little one of these. Goes through the white one and through the grey one. Line them up and they go just on the end there. There we go. Put that on there. I'm still fiddling about with this stream. I'll work it out at some point. Some crates, which are some bricks are hiding in. Get them out of the way. Okay, what? Oh, next page. So we need like a burgundy square piece there with a red brick. You slot on top of that to match their level. Do these white bricks side, and then a 1x2 white plate on top of that. There we go. See that wall coming together. We need one of those side pieces. Go on there. There we are. So we need to make two of these little heightened walls, which have a plate on the bottom, plate on the top. There we go. Then we need the red one with a little latching piece that can fit on top right there. And what do we need? We need some more of these side pieces. Sort of fill out that top row, or what I assume is the top row of the circus tent. I assume to make better roof textures, maybe a bit of decoration, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, and 1x4 on top there. And then another one of those, I don't even know what you call them sort of pieces. Like turning pieces. Whatever they're called. Hinge, maybe? Not too sure. Just the camera a little there. Alright, then we can start on the other side. Which I believe is going to be the same sort of thing. Red, heightened one, and then another whole piece with a attachment piece, which I believe, see there, that would usually fit onto one of them. So I think it's sort of to make it a bit modular, make it so you can build it out, you know, that sort of stuff. Which is a cool idea. I'd probably prefer it more if the set wasn't already like £40, you know. And I could just get a few more of the same set. Make a full circus tent, something like that. And I mean, it gives it use, you know, outside of One Piece fans. Because, you know, if you're making a city, you want a circus, you can grab a few of these sets, you know. Make a little circus tent on the outskirts of town, something like that. Right, and then we can chuck that on there. Right. Another one of these side pieces here. Just slot on. No, I put that on the wrong side there. Let's get a brick separator, come on. There we go. Right. Put that on there. Okay. Next we build up these wall pieces again. The white wall pieces. There we go. And then on there. And we can put another one of them, put that on there. I'll put that build down there so you can maybe see what I'm doing a bit easier. Will that be better for you guys, do you think? I hope so. Because it makes it a bit clearer what you're seeing, rather than having it all the way up here. Okay, what is next? Next we can grab one of these. Them. Put that on there. And this one on there. Alright. Top part. Give it some more stability. Which is always nice. Go. Right, now we're moving on to the inside. Well, we've got to add grey skeleton legs. That's interesting. They just go on these sort of corners all around. Quite attached there. And there we go. Next we're going to add some bars between the two of them. Got to make sure they're all in line. Would it not just be easier to attach them like to the bar first, then put it on? That seems a lot simpler to do. Well, that one seemed to work pretty nicely. Oh, but it's popped off. There's a little tip if you're building this set. Attach the bar onto the feet first before you attach it to the main build. Next we've got these boxes, and we're hiding this little hat into one of the boxes. And that sits on one of these colourful floors. If it'll... There we go. Just like that there. Just move all my pieces along. There we go. And the other box comes with best use of a sticker. So we grab this little brown piece with the two handles. And you stick it to. Let's try and put that on. Stickers are always a bit fiddly. Come on. That'll do. It's not perfect, but there we are. Which I'm sure if you've seen the show, you know exactly what that piece is for. Which is a cool little addition to this build. Which I will show you guys once it's all finished. Or if it suggests I build it at that point, but I doubt it. And then we had a little pair on top. I didn't know there were pair Lego pieces. Considering I have, you know, Animal Crossing Lego, I don't think I've ever seen the pair before. Right, and then in the brown barrel, we add one of these pieces. Looks like a hand, you know. And that we close up as well. That. on top of that barrel. And then in a black one, we put the exact same piece on the other side. Very cool. So, if you don't already know, that's a reference to the main fight where they knock Buggy's chop body parts, which sounds weird, into boxes. Right, and then we can put them on there. Around, and then with that we put on these little pillars that we can make, which are going to have some alternate use, I imagine, since they have a stud connector. Is that what they're called? A stud piece? Stud? I know the studs are the small little round pieces, but are they not like stud connecting pieces, something like that? And then we got a main archway just over the top there, which we are going to decorate with even more pieces. Just like so. Some larger archway pieces or decorational pieces just there. There we go. That is the end of bag 2. Starting to come together a little bit. We've got a few interior decorations, stuff like that. So let's go grab bag 3. And in this bag, we get our ever favourite navigator. So let's get everything out of there. And then all the small pieces. And I've just seen both wanted posters that are in here, and that's really disappointing. Because I've got Alvida and Buggy, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Great. Don't get me wrong. Great characters, all that stuff. But I've already got them. I don't exactly need them again. But that's alright. But I might have to take to online to grab the last 2 characters. Last 2 characters? What am I on about? The last wanted poster I need, which is Gold Roger. Anyway, let's build our navigator. So there we have Nami, which is the same Nami I got from in the Going Merry and the Baratier. But that's alright. He also comes with an extra little piece. Found. Where is it? And that is our representation of the map to the Grand Line. So there we go. Next to Buggy over there. We've got a separate build going on here. Let's get that started. I'm not even quite sure what this even looks like I'm building. Picture in the book. But we'll find out sooner or later. Okay. He's like, there we go. Right. Catch that onto lip piece, I think, what you call them. Little piece there with a sort of extra little lip coming out. Whole piece in. I'll just sit on top of there. Those onto there. What is this supposed to be? I have no clue whatsoever. And then some hook plates. Black tile piece. And then that just goes on top of. Don't. Box has fallen off. Doesn't seem like those boxes are the most secure. I'm pretty sure they're only secure by one piece anyway. Right. So I'm not quite. I think this is where the little, or not little, it's quite big, clown face is going to be sitting. Okay. Next we red versions of the red version of the gold piece. It's like little circus lights, I suppose. What I call that. Yellow pieces. Do you see that, like little lights that go on the archway here? Again, are only attached. Oh no, they're not. They're attached right at the bottom. We've got two attachment parts. Get these on top of them. So that's pretty cool. All right. And then we continue this with even more of the lights. Cool. Hey. Part of the archway. Like a whole little arch. Cool. And then use some more of these pieces to that's where I've gone wrong. These don't got these. That box has fallen off again. Might be the death of me. Right. So then I can add gold parts. Red gold parts. It wouldn't stop falling off, that is. Come on. Twisted, that's why. Start by adding them down here so that don't move around. Yeah. We've got some tower sort of pieces to build. It'll help with all the stability later. What's this? Alright. And we can use we even call these pole pieces. Sort of slide them inside to sort of make sure there's stability in all of that. All the way through? Oh. Put it through this other. Oh. Alright. Attach some more pieces. I mean, it's nice that it's all well supported. Not gonna break too easily. Don't. If it wants to. There we go. Then, okay, so we'll make a little door light. Top light? No. Spotlight. A little bit on the end. Pretty cool. Yeah. Nice little light there. Are we making another one for the other side? Yep, seems we've got a blue one to make. Pieces. Up. A blue on there. Good. Wants to. There we go. Really done something with my hair this morning. You know, tends to get a bit annoying every now and then. Especially once it's freshly washed, it just does whatever the hell it wants. Right. So, handle something? Or are these more support piece? I suppose. For something. As if I do it the right way. Then I'm putting a bow staff in. Facing this way. Now it's time to put the this box again. I guess it does need to be easily taken off, but right. Then we could pop the wanted posters on the front of circus. So I'll chuck them on. Like so, slightly mismatched. Are we building up the front more now? Yep. These. Like so. we have it. Stuff is coming in. And a box, obviously. Right, and then we have another loop on the other side. Make it look a bit nicer. And that is bag 3 complete. It was a necessary step, I guess, this bag. Not much addition, of just setting up for the main attachment. Right, bag 4. Yep, cool. And in this one, get ourselves Zorro. But this is the blue shirt Zorro. The only other set that this Zorro appears in is the Karate Air. So this is I wouldn't say it's a rarer character, but the other set is a very expensive. Of course, it also comes with his bandana. Serious mode. I'm not sure if it ever had a actual. Of course, I got another Waluigi Monji, which is the mouthpiece sword. And he's literally holding it in his mouth, like, cool. Even if it's not going to be used in anything but One Piece, so that we can get ourselves a 3-sword style. Right. So it seems we're building something separate again. Long piece with 2x3. Touch the panels too. Yes. 2x3. Then we're adding a bunch of 1x1 panels for some reason. Whatever this is for. Well, whatever. Oh, that'll turn out to be. Try not to drop it there. Whatever this is to attach underneath. So, whatever that's meant to be. Yeah, then little connector things to the side. Going to be attaching separate parts too. Red, white tile. One. So, 2 of those. Yeah. This is supposed to be part of the roof. Is that what we do? Put these on. And we need these triangular sloped sides there. Those wheel attacher pieces back. That clips on just in these clips here. Here's the main part of our roof. Oh, let's see him doing another roof piece. Can only imagine. This on the other side. Main side. Another 3, 4 by 1 on the bottom there. And what looks like to be some shaping. So give it that striped look. There. Attached with grey void arms. Just like that. And that attaches on this hook. Yeah. Oh. And it sort of fits there quite nicely actually. But yeah, sure, you can allows for it to be opened a little. Overall, it's quite stationary. I like that. And with another sticker number 8. Yep. Onto this blue tile plate. We done? Nice little, we call it sign, entrance sign. To Buggy Pirates. There we are. Really coming together now. I mean, it is quite a small set, but it's nice. Right, head on to bag number 5. All these spare parts with me. Alright. This even comes with a plastic bag. I do wonder why they, you know, choose each bag type. Why some plastic, why some paper? And in this bag we do get our final character. The captain of the Straw Hat Pirates himself. Oh. Legs there. And now, so I do have other parts. There it is. Clear piece of black. Because that's where his hat's going to go in this one. Just drop the hat. Oops. Ah. His head on. Then there's. And there we have blue feet. Which I think is unique to this one. I say unique. It's made of parts in other sets, but overall it's unique. Like that hat and neck bracket set is in the Arlong. Shorts are the same in every single one. Shirt is the same in every one. The hair is in the Arlong set, and the Kid Luffy set. Say Luffy's face. But in this combination, I think it is unique in this set. So, take it as you will. What is weird is that Luffy's sort of main look with the straw hat. The two most expensive sets. Quite interesting. Yeah. Guess it's just more incentive to buy sets. Get a hatted Luffy. No. So here we're building the other side of the roof, which is the same deal. Just it's off, you know. There we go. Put on there like so. And any droid arms again. Up. Yep. Touches. Side. Right. Up all nicely. Go. All right. Then I think it's time to build the head. Few underbits here. And a piece onto there. Do oh, I've done it the wrong way. This on the other side. That these for a reason. Pieces to and this back piece. Little what's that called? It's like a shield piece. Not a shield. One of them. Anywhere? Piece. No. Yeah, rounded. Rounded side stud pieces. Sure, someone knows the technical for all this. This isn't. This is chair that Buggy said. And it stopped dropping parts. Go. Go. Yeah, that can sort of that front bit can come out, which is quite nice as well. That's where Buggy sits when you first meet him. Okay. Next along. Next part is the head. Clearly. Although it doesn't much look like a head yet. And these can go on top like so. These attached either side. Pink piece there. Where am I up to? There we are. So, 2 black tires attached. 1x2 black tires attached. Sides. A circle on a side attaching piece. L pieces. Yeah. And like that. Odd. These. Looks like it might be. It looks like it's in its head. Hairline. Right. What's next? This one. The stud. Up there. Archway there. The arch piece. Then his hair. Loop. Bump. Again. To the side. What piece? Wait. There we go. And we're doing the top of his head, it seems. Good. Do the arched pieces. That. The arch piece with studs. Do. Just onto the front. Not even the right. Oh, there we go. That attaches on top of his head. Now it's asking me to put the stickers on. So this might be a bit tricky. Try and get this done nicely. Ah, it's a bit off center. I sort of knew this would happen. but it's alright. Little hat piece. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze in a minute. Oh, it's gone. Right, where? It'll do. That looks alright. Cool little circus clown head. Which, to be fair, you don't really see it much in the live action show, but it is there in a few scenes. Nice little set piece that sort of adds to Buggy's whole ego trip, I guess. That attaches onto there like that. If you're looking at it, it's quite far forward. I push that in. There we go. Looks a bit better. There we go. Right. Then I'm doing two of these. I'm gonna do two of these at once. Because these will be the chairs that all the citizens are forced to sit in. I don't know if I've done wrong. I knew I'd get one of them. At least it was earlier on that I mixed it up. Yeah, like that. These back by twos in that. Those in there. By threes above them. Flip them over. More 1x2 blacks. Where three a piece. There. Go. Then some hinge pieces. Which seem to hinge both ways. Sort of implies these things can be attached together. I mean, increasing the idea that it's a whole modular piece, which is cool. So, what pieces? So we've got place for the chairs. And like that. Blue and yellow chairs. Diagonal formation. So. That's sort of how they sit, just like that. Okay. These sort of attach the sides of circus, like on there. Of course, you can one open it up, and of course, if it is modular, you've got space to keep adding on. Then we got ourselves the Jolly Roger. Is the last of the main sticker sheet. Buggy's Jolly Roger, the Buggy Pirates. Obviously on the top of the circus. A lot of those pieces left. I feel like I missed something. Front of chairs. Grey version of the gold bar pieces. It was weird that they give us an extra whole 4 stack. Technically called. And on to the final bag of the set. Bag number 6. Again, another plastic bag. Why couldn't they have just used paper again? You know, especially since the paper's recyclable. Unless the plastic is too, but I'm not sure if it is. Not lose any of those pieces. The first, it's making cage when Nami was trapped. Build this up. We're gonna need a lot of these little claw pieces there. Sort of signify that it's all locked. Attachment. Up. 5 more. These hooks. For the sake of building it all up. Touch these pieces together. Go. Got to make sure they're all put in enough, otherwise it doesn't exactly fit properly. They weren't even, most of them weren't even put in, which is funny since they all weren't put in enough, the same, you know, level. Go. And just one more. Go. And then this last one, I believe, is a bit different. Oh, last 2, I don't know how many left. I think it might be 2. There's 1. Like this. Sort of just an easier open. As if that's how Nami got in and out. The other one that we've got left is the one with the lock on it. So one of these. Gold clip piece with 1x1 plate. A little lock on it. Hook that up. Here we go. Slides on this bow staff. Also take off first anyway. So that's, it doesn't even stay on there anymore. come off anyway. But there we are. Hanging off on there. Very cool. Then we've got where Zorro was trapped. It is pretty cool that they did all these little areas. But at that rate, I would have said, where's another one of the Buggy pirates? Kabaji? Is that the other one? Hated Zorro for killing his brother, I think it was. Something like that. Base. One. There. Blow up. Got a weird little contraption here. And then all of these, just a 1x5 rounded tile with a whatever. What was it? What are these pieces called? A handle, studded handle. I don't know. They go on the side there. And then we can do the main wheel. Goes on there. Pull that. Add the stars around. Then we use this little contraption, a cross guard. I don't know what you call those. That goes through the center. When you attach that inside, that side does allow it to spin. Is there anything to go on the back here? And then right, so it doesn't fall off. Spin it. Pretty cool. And now Luffy's contraption. Luffy's tank. The Buggy traps him in. Yep. There we are. It's sort of a little, or is it just a play feature? That yellow Technic pins. Backlit piece on the bottom. Things there. It's on the. What is it? Would if it's on. Is that right? that's right. I'm not quite sure. Right. Side studded 1x1s. Corner. Two sides there. And this is the tank. Door. That's why it looked a bit weird. That. Gonna make these. Oh, make a glass door. Glass close. This is more likely to be. So, I suppose on top. Up these walls. I'll get rounded 1x2s on top. And that up there. That on there. And this little wheel. Go on the front. Which would be where Buggy kept raising the water level, as there was seawater in this. Another plate with sticker, a bit more of it, which is a translucent sticker. Has the water on. Terribly done. Rub it back off. Maybe I should have added the sticker before I put it inside the frame. It does look a bit messy now that I've pulled it off, which is probably my bad. Exactly my bad. Put that kind of bit on there. One by two on top, actually. This. That goes on like that. And that is Luffy's capture device. And that is everything. That is the entire set. Right. All these spare pieces. art bag. To be honest, it's getting quite full now. Right, so of course you can display all this however you want, but I think we're gonna go with what's accurate. So we can take Luffy in here. Well, I don't think you can have that on him. So that out. Pop Luffy in there. Starting to succumb to his weaknesses. Army, of course, get in here. Can she get in with the things, or are they gonna have to be removed? How does it say she's in there on the box? I'm not quite sure how they fit, you know. Doesn't exactly show them stuck inside, which is quite funny since you might not even be able to get inside anywhere. But I think the staff and the map can't fit with her in there. But I think like the short, she sits in there. Maybe able to give her the map just so I don't lose it, you know. Quite finicky once she's actually in there, you know. Especially when you got fat fingers. There we are. Nami. Crap. Zoro once wouldn't have all stuff. Which that might be the most annoying part of Zoro. Maybe he's just got too much. 3 swords and a bandana that you gotta sort of figure out where to put. But because of the way Lego are made, with the studs on the back, they sort of slip on. Doesn't exactly fit on there. Well. And this is the play feature. Designed for that. Sort of nothing else on there. How was this supposed to work? You can kind of sit him on there, you know, but it's one of those things that you might not really touch. It seems quite finicky. And then of course Buggy can sit on his chair, but I wanted to show you the little extra addition to this set, where in these boxes, or the crates and stuff, where we hid certain pieces earlier. Let's see if I can get back into them. And then is take Buggy's head, hook it onto this little guy with his bandana, 2 hands, and you make yourself a little Buggy. And he's pretty cool. Buggy. Cool. Not something I'm really gonna stick with, as you then just have decapitated Buggy around. But if you wanted, you could always attach this Buggy to the Arlong shooting gallery and sort of have a little thing there. But it's really cool when you sort of think about all the different ways you can display all the different sets. And, you know, there's one set you don't like as much. Say you didn't like this one. You can display the characters elsewhere, which I think is really cool. But that's just sort of a pro with Lego anyway. Sort of different things you can do with it. But yeah, that's that one. And yeah, I think the only issue I have is those crates. Quite annoying to move around, and if you are playing with this, I don't know how much you'd really want to be moving certain stuff. I don't know. As a display piece, it is quite cool. Obviously, more modular of a circus tent. So, if you did want to have it like properly shown as Buggy Circus, there would have to be some changes made. Like, you'd need to replace this doorway somehow if you were doing like a wraparound sort of thing. But the rest of it's all really nice. These things are still breaking off. That's swinging now, me. Gonna get a bit trying to play with it. At least it gives you choice to take it off easily without taking apart the whole thing. But yeah, you always get all these sort of extra pieces from there, but they're like sort of just around, like with Going Merry, you know, get Zorro's sword, but I have him displayed sitting down with a drink in hand, you know, as Zorro would do. So you need somewhere to store all that sort. But you know, it's fine. It is a toy at the end of it. You need to include these sort of things with the characters, and I'm glad they do. You know, I wouldn't want them to not. But yeah, I wonder, can I put Zorro's stuff on him? They'll have him wheel the way we had him. If I can, it then means I think about Zorro's stuff too much. Oh, hung off. Can be a bit finicky. Yeah, you can sort of play him there. It does become a bit top heavy at that point, but it's cool. Your hats and ball staff. Yeah, let's get this moved out the way, because I do have one other thing I would like to build today. It is a bit of a small one. I've got the Ghost Rider bike, which, I mean, it's a smaller set, but it gives us Ghost Rider. That's just that's just cool. So there we got enough time to sort of build that. Let's get this out of the way. I'll just pop it back there for now, and I'll sort it all out later. So yeah, Spider-Man versus Ghost Rider. Now, it is cool that we got Ghost Rider. I don't think we needed another Spider-Man. I think there's a wide range of characters that could have sort of been here instead, you know? But, yep, it is a small set. It's fine. But, like, I've got so many Spider-Man now. Do I have that many? I got the Spider-Man mech, which gives us Spider-Man. I mean, I also have a Miles Morales that came with the Venom mech. I also have a few of the Spider-Man CMF figures. And then I also have the Miles mech, which comes with 2 Spider-Man. And then the Doc Ock versus Spider-Man mechs, which comes with another Spider-Man. So, you know, there are quite a few. And you do wonder, how many's enough? But yeah, let's build this sort of mini set. Sort of closes off. Bit smaller, a bit nicer. Get a sick ass bike for it. And I think it'll go with my my Venom bike that I've got as well. So get these guys out. First off, we have, of course, Spider-Man. If they wanted to give him access. Yeah. There's Spider-Man. Same Spider-Man that we always sort of get. But the real star of the show. Which I mainly just wanted this nice, well, say nice, the sort of fire hairpiece. Which I could stick on keeping it with Ghost Rider, or I could add it to Johnny Storm for my Fantastic Four set. There's Ghost Rider. It is really cool. And the chest printed in. Also printed. Really cool. Yeah, let's add them there. Let's get the main bike built. Yeah, no, this is obviously going to be smaller. But I mean, it's still really cool. I mean, a personal favourite Ghost Rider of mine is... Oh, what's the other guy called? The Mexican one that was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I can't remember his name right now. But I really liked his car, his hot rod. So I'd love if they did a version of that. Or if they've done a version of that. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, cool little addition. For a smaller set, I cannot find the pieces. That can go there. And we've got a couple of warp pieces to throw on there. The square piece. Hook. And then the mandatory feature, which personally wasn't needed. They need a play feature. So Ghost Rider has guns now, I guess. Which sure. I mean, surely bike enough for a play feature. You don't need to add an entire guns to his. But I suppose not. That one starting to come together a little. Slope for the front. Dish piece? I don't know what you call them. Helps it slide across a bit easier. Because I imagine the bike will just feel that low anyway. Like that. Attach to the other side. Short pieces coming up. A red one. There. The thinner wheel goes onto there. Which is then closed out. Same sort of contraption on the others. At the front wheel. Attach it onto that. And this one starts by going in the back there, like that. Ready for larger wheel. If I can get that put together. That go in. Through. Okay. Yeah. And then we've got some extra additional parts. Little part. What else we got? A little additional. Yes. The skull on it. Really cool. Touches on the sides of this piece the handlebar sits on. Go. And then these two big fire pieces. Touch the side. Which is cool since you can sort of have them out whichever way you want. Make it look like he's turning, something like that, I guess. And then these little pieces are your ammunition. Which, I mean, sure kids will love, but me personally, it's a bit of a waste. And then you get a little piece which gives you access to attaching the webbing onto bike. This seems to be a standing bike, which is sort of a bit easy. You know, take them on and off without too much hassle. Spider-Man hanging onto the back like that. But there we are. Obviously a much smaller set, but nonetheless it's still really cool, and I would say quite detailed with all the different sort of parts. There we have it. Switch back over there. And that'll be it today, I guess. We've had some good fun building some Lego. Tomorrow I'll probably go back to playing some games. I'm not sure which games yet. If you have any recommendations, let me know. And yeah. If you like this, please follow, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff.